Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Got some more parts in from our good friends up in Canada. So let's talk about that. This is going to be part 4. Fun stuff. So we'll be putting this on today. I got a new helix. I got a different spring for my primary that's different than what comes with the kit, because on this I will be running from Bikeman, the Torque Link. I'm going to do some tuning on it. So that's why I went with a different kit. It's super adjustable, easy to adjust, and to be honest with you, Joe, iBackshift.com, he really put some time and effort into this 850 kit, and I know that he does that on all his kits. The cool thing is, so he sends out a setup chart based on, you know, the stage that you'll be running, the elevation that you're going to be at, you know, so you can sit there and fine tune it with just changing out a couple things on your pivot screw. So talking about this kit, it comes with a full set of instructions with this, talking about everything you need to do. New, as he calls them, Popeye arms. Pivot bolts based on different lengths based on the setup that you'll be running, and then the different tungsten weights. And actually with the stage kit, it comes with a separate setup of tungsten weights to add on the stage kit depending on what stage you're going to be running. So basically, primary, secondary spring, everything that you need is included in this kit. Taking the adjuster off, there's a washer. Okay. I always put it back on the same way I take it off. So don't know, but so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put my secondary tool in and compress the helix just a tiny bit, and then I will still, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show this, but back there, right there, I'll heat these up a little bit. And years ago I bought this little tool, so once I get it heated up, I just stick this in there and they come out pretty good. I mark, so arrow, mark my sheaves so everything lines up, so that when I put it back together, it's real simple. But like I said, I've already got 2 of the screws loose, just heating them up real quick, use that little tool, boom, secondary still in the sled. Got the helix out, stock springs out, secondary clutch is still on the sled. So one thing, it does take a little bit longer. You have to rotate the secondary around to undo the bolts, but it still saves you time by not having to take the whole jack shaft out of the sled, worrying about the gear over on the other side falling in. And if you don't have the right tool, it could be a pain in the butt. The white bushing is still in there. I'll take the one out of the helix on the other side. Rollers, got 60 miles on it so far. Next, I'll pull my primary out. Primary is off the sled. Just remove that bolt, slide it off. Good to go there. And we're going to be putting in all new stuff. So that kit going in there. Use the tool, take it apart. There's plenty of videos out there on how to take your P drive apart. I can put a couple links to one, but don't lose that. Outside, I went ahead and loosened up my pivot bolt and also my arm. So this is ready to come off. And now I'm going to take these apart and put the new stuff in. Got my arms. Got these new, he calls them Popeye arms. I don't know what they're called. Anyway, arms, ramps, got everything that I need. So on this kit, he supplies different length bolts. And for my setting that I'm going with, I need the 45, I need the 7, and I'm going to use a 3 and a 2 mil tungsten weight on my pivot screw. So real quick, I'll just do one of these, show you what needs to happen here. Take that off, change, and then 7, 3, and a 2 on there. Put that through. Just like that. And make sure you're on clicker 3. And clicker 3 is just doesn't have a number, it's just the mark in between 2 and 4. And just hand tighten them with the small end. That's all it takes right there. And so that's done. So on your ramps, your pivot pin or your bolt, the way I take mine out, I know they make a tool for it. I back that screw out just a little bit and I just hit it with a light mallet, pop that out, and it works just fine. So it's the way I've always done it. I know the other guys, I'm going to probably end up just getting a longer, same thread bolt. I know guys that do it that way too. And then they can pound it all the way out. So arrow, dot. Line that back up. There we go. And the kit comes with a red spring, but I've got to use a black spring, a little different, since I'm running the Torque Link stage kit. That's why you have to put a little bit heavier spring in there. Putting it back together, take a piece of Scotch-Brite and just work your sheaves really good, get that glaze off, get all that crap, that film from the factory. I've got 60 miles on this already, so makes a huge difference. Get that sheave all nice. Doesn't take much. So on this, make sure I marked it. You got the arrow and the dot. So there you go. It's all back together. And Joe talks about this. Use the small end to tighten these pivot bolts with. Don't sit and crank on them. You don't need to. So just use this and tighten them that way. Should be good. Loctite bolts on top. So in your secondary, take your plastic washer, whatever it is. Make sure you take that out of your old helix. Put that in your new one. And we're going to put the yellow spring in there. And one thing that I've done, it makes it easier in the future if you want to change that secondary spring. Change the bolts out with some flare head. That bolt's an M8 by 25 flare head hex. So they're like 50 cents at the nut and bolt supply store. And it saves you time next time. Got the plastic washer still in there. New spring, new helix, and replace the plastic washer there. Arrow, match up with that arrow as best you can. Rollers here, roller goes right here. And we'll get this compressed, and then like I said, I've got these ready to go, Loctite already on them, so they should be good. Secondary's in, primary's in. A little bit. Just gotta put that on, set my belt deflection, and clutch kit's done. Yo, what's up?